In the bustling streets of ancient Athens, where philosophers roamed and ideas thrived, there was a quiet observer who once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." That observer was none other than Socrates, a foundational figure in Stoic thought. This simple yet profound acknowledgement of ignorance isn't just an ancient aphorism. It's a powerful call to humility and continuous learning that resonates deeply in today's world. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom isn't about accumulating knowledge, but about the profound understanding of our own limits and the pursuit of virtue. Today, we dive into how these timeless principles can transform challenges into opportunities for growth and help us navigate the complexities of modern life with serenity and strength. Stick with us as we uncover the Stoic secrets to living a fulfilled and resilient life, insights that promise not just to enlighten, but to empower. If you appreciate what we're exploring here, the simplest free favor I'll ask from you is to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't skip any part of this video. Unlike the majority, you're the exception, set apart in your pursuit of profound understanding and fulfillment. Number 1. Humility. When we talk about humility in the context of Stoicism, we're tapping into one of the most essential virtues that the philosophy upholds. This isn't just about modesty, it's about a profound understanding of our place in the universe. Stoics believed that every individual has limits, and recognizing these limits isn't a sign of weakness, but of true self-awareness. Think about the ancient Stoic philosophers like Seneca or Marcus Aurelius, who, despite their immense responsibilities and power, emphasized the importance of being humble. They understood that no matter how much knowledge or power one has, it is the wisdom to accept one's own limitations that truly shapes a character. In a practical sense, humility allows us to remain students of life. It opens us up to more learning and growth because we acknowledge that we don't have all the answers. This mindset not only deepens our understanding, but also enhances our relationships with others. By acknowledging that we are part of a larger order and not the center of the universe, we learn to approach life and people with respect and curiosity rather than arrogance. So, why is this important for you? In today's world, where there's a lot of emphasis on self-promotion and the relentless pursuit of success, Stoic humility teaches us that there is strength in recognizing and embracing our vulnerabilities. This approach doesn't just make us wiser, it makes us more approachable and relatable to others, fostering genuine connections. It reminds us that life is not just about achievements, but also about the journey of continuous learning and adapting, with a humble heart and an open mind. Embodying humility can dramatically shift how we live and interact with the world. It helps keep our ego in check, ensuring that our successes do not lead to a sense of superiority, but rather a deeper appreciation and a constant quest for wisdom and virtue. As we embrace the Stoic practice of humility, we find ourselves more grounded and ultimately more content with the life we lead. Number 2. Openness to experience. Stoicism isn't just about introspection and personal discipline. It's also profoundly about openness to experience. This Stoic principle isn't merely about seeking new experiences for pleasure or thrill. Rather, it's about embracing every situation, be it challenging or enriching, as an opportunity to learn and grow. This aspect of Stoicism teaches us that every experience, pleasant or unpleasant, holds a lesson, and that staying open to these lessons is crucial to developing wisdom. Openness in Stoicism also means stepping beyond our comfort zones and the confines of our established beliefs. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, saw this openness as essential to developing a well-rounded character. It's about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to new ideas, different cultures, and opposing viewpoints. It challenges us to question our preconceptions and to replace judgment with curiosity. For example, Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about viewing the obstacles we face as opportunities to practice virtues. This could mean seeing a disagreement as a chance to practice patience and understanding rather than a threat to our ego. For us today, this could translate into being open to feedback at work without being defensive, or engaging with people who challenge our worldviews, not to win an argument, but to understand a different perspective. It means maintaining a flexible mindset that is willing to adapt and evolve as new information and experiences come our way. In a world that's rapidly changing and increasingly interconnected, such openness is more valuable than ever. Moreover, Stoic openness isn't passive. It's an active, deliberate choice to remain permeable to life's endless variability. It's about saying yes to life's complexities, about embracing the unknown and the uncontrollable with equanimity and courage. This openness doesn't mean losing our sense of self to the whims of fate. Rather, it's about integrating our experiences into a coherent self that is always growing, always learning. Embracing this Stoic openness to experience can enrich your life in unimaginable ways, making you more adaptable in times of change, more empathetic in relationships, and ultimately more resilient in the face of adversity. It cultivates a life not just lived, but fully experienced, deeply understood, and meaningfully appreciated. Number 3. Rational choices. In Stoicism, the concept of making rational choices is central to living a virtuous life. This isn't just about choosing what's best for oneself, but involves deeply considering what is just and beneficial for the community at large. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca didn't view rational decision-making as merely a logical process. They saw it as a moral duty. Every decision, according to Stoic principles, should stem from a clear, calm mind and a strong ethical compass, aiming not just for personal gain, but for the greater good. So, what does making rational choices involve in a Stoic sense? It starts with self-awareness, knowing your values, your biases, and how these influence your decisions. It's about stepping back from immediate emotional reactions and considering the long-term consequences of your actions. Imagine you're faced with a choice at work that benefits you but may disadvantage a colleague. A Stoic approach would involve weighing this choice against principles of fairness and the impact on the collective welfare, rather than acting on competitive instincts or short-term gains. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us that rational choices are not made in isolation. We are part of a larger community, and our choices ripple out to affect others. This interconnectedness means that our decisions should contribute to social harmony and respect the dignity of others. It's about asking not just, is this good for me, but is this right? This involves a level of moral reasoning that goes beyond simple pros and cons. It's about aligning our choices with a broader, more universal set of ethical standards. In our daily lives, this Stoic principle can transform the way we make decisions. From small choices like how we respond to a stressful email, to larger life decisions about career or relationships, approaching each with a rational, community-focused mindset can lead to more fulfilling outcomes. It encourages us to think not just about what is easiest or most beneficial for us in the moment, but what is most just and virtuous. This way of decision-making strengthens our character and deepens our relationships, creating a life that is not only successful in the conventional sense, but also richly meaningful and ethically sound. Adopting this Stoic approach to rational choices challenges us to rise above our immediate desires and impulses, to engage with the world thoughtfully and ethically. It's about making wisdom an active force in our lives, guiding our actions and interactions towards the highest good. Number 4. Self-mastery. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, encapsulates more than just control over one's actions. It involves a deep regulation of emotions, desires, and reactions to external events. Stoics often emphasize the importance of mastering oneself before attempting to influence the world around us. This mastery is not about suppression or denial of emotions, but understanding and directing them in a way that aligns with reason and virtue. The pursuit of self-mastery is rooted in the idea that we cannot control external events, only our responses to them. This Stoic insight is liberating. It shifts the focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to refining our inner selves. For instance, when faced with disappointment or setback, instead of succumbing to frustration or despair, a Stoic would use this as an opportunity to practice resilience and adaptability. This isn't passive resignation, but an active engagement in shaping one's internal landscape. Moreover, self-mastery involves a proactive approach to personal development. It requires constant vigilance over one's thoughts and actions, ensuring they are in harmony with Stoic virtues. This includes practicing disciplines like mindfulness, which helps maintain an awareness of our present thoughts and feelings, and reflection, which involves regularly examining our actions and motives to ensure they align with our ethical standards. In practical terms, self-mastery can manifest in various aspects of life. For example, in maintaining professional integrity, a Stoic would choose actions that reflect their values, even when under pressure to compromise. In personal relationships, it means managing impulses and emotions to foster understanding and respect rather than conflict. Adopting self-mastery allows us to lead lives that are not only more controlled and less susceptible to external fluctuations, but also more fulfilling. It enables us to live authentically and with purpose, knowing that our actions are a true reflection of our deepest values and principles. This Stoic practice doesn't guarantee a life free from trouble, but it promises a life where every challenge is met with wisdom and every decision is a step towards greater virtue. Number 5. Appreciation of solitude. Stoicism, with its rich emphasis on inner life, naturally cultivates an appreciation for solitude. This isn't about isolation, but about valuing quiet moments that fuel self-reflection and personal growth. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of spending time alone with one's thoughts, viewing it as essential to understanding oneself and the world. In solitude, we find the space to reflect on our actions, decisions, and motivations without the noise of external influences. It's a time to listen to our inner voice, to realign with our core values, and to plan our future actions. For Stoics, this practice isn't merely beneficial, it's necessary for maintaining the clarity of mind and purposefulness of action that Stoicism demands. Moreover, solitude allows us to decompress and process our experiences. In the rush of everyday life, we often react instinctively. Alone time helps us transition from reaction to response, giving us the opportunity to consider how best to align our actions with our Stoic virtues. It's in these quiet moments that we can deeply contemplate the Stoic concept of virtue being the sole good, and how we can embody this in our daily lives. The appreciation of solitude also leads to greater emotional resilience. By regularly spending time alone, we become more comfortable with ourselves, less dependent on external validation, and more adept at handling life's inevitable challenges. This is not about withdrawing from the world, but about strengthening ourselves so that we can engage with it more fully and authentically. In embracing solitude, we follow in the footsteps of Stoic practitioners who used their alone time not just for rest, but as a vigorous, deliberate engagement in self-mastery. This practice helps cultivate a peace of mind that is not easily disturbed by the external world and prepares us to return to our daily lives refreshed and focused, better equipped to act with kindness, justice, and rationality. Number 6. Listening skills. Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in the development of virtue and rational living, places a strong emphasis on the art of listening. This isn't just about hearing words, it's about truly understanding and processing the perspectives of others. Stoic listening goes beyond the surface, encouraging a deep engagement with the ideas and feelings of others as a form of respect and a way to gain wisdom. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, listening was a critical part of learning and personal growth. They advocated listening not just with the ears, but with the mind and heart. By truly listening, we open ourselves to new knowledge and different perspectives, which is essential for the cultivation of wisdom and the practice of justice, key virtues in Stoicism. It involves pausing our own stream of thoughts and judgments to fully engage with another person's ideas, which can be challenging but immensely rewarding. Effective listening in Stoicism also extends to self-reflection. It requires listening to our own inner dialogues and understanding our emotions and reactions. This self-listening is crucial for developing self-awareness and emotional regulation, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with virtue and reason instead of knee-jerk reactions. Moreover, good listening skills strengthen relationships. They show that we value others' thoughts and feelings, fostering mutual respect and understanding. In a world where everyone wants to be heard but few take the time to listen, being someone who truly listens can transform personal and professional relationships. It builds trust and shows care, paving the way for deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. In practice, Stoic listening is about being present. It involves setting aside one's own agenda to be fully with the other person, physically and mentally. This means not just waiting for your turn to speak, but actively engaging with what is being said. By doing so, we practice a form of Stoic mindfulness that enhances our capacity for empathy, patience, and understanding, qualities that enrich not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Number 7. Independence from external validation. One of the most empowering aspects of Stoic philosophy is its emphasis on independence from external validation. This principle encourages us to find satisfaction and self-worth from within, rather than relying on approval, accolades, or validation from others. Stoics argued that true freedom and contentment come from living according to one's own values and judgments, rather than being swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. This independence is deeply connected to the Stoic idea of focusing only on what we can control. External validation is fleeting and unpredictable, and basing our happiness on it places our emotional well-being in the hands of others. Stoics teach us to detach from this need for external approval and instead find joy in living a virtuous life. When we live in alignment with our principles, the need for external recognition naturally diminishes. Practicing this form of independence isn't about becoming aloof or dismissive of others' opinions. Rather, it's about cultivating a strong sense of self that remains stable and content, even when external accolades are absent. This means developing a self-assurance that is rooted in our own assessments of what is good, right, and beneficial according to Stoic virtues. It involves a continuous process of self-reflection, evaluating whether our actions are dictated by our own values or by a desire to please others. This Stoic mindset can be incredibly liberating. It frees us from the endless cycle of seeking validation and allows us to focus on personal growth and fulfillment. We become more resilient to criticism and rejection, as our self-esteem is no longer tied to others' perceptions. This not only enhances our psychological well-being, but also empowers us to make choices that are true to ourselves, leading to a more authentic and meaningful life. Embracing this Stoic principle of independence from external validation encourages us to lead lives that are self-determined and self-fulfilled, where the pursuit of virtue and personal integrity becomes the ultimate source of our happiness and satisfaction. As we wrap up today's exploration into the rich and resilient philosophy of Stoicism, it's clear that these ancient teachings still hold profound relevance in our modern lives. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship or suppressing emotions. It's about cultivating an inner strength and wisdom that allows us to live fully and fearlessly, regardless of external circumstances. I hope this journey through Stoic philosophy inspires you to reflect on your own values and choices. Perhaps you'll find, as many have, that these ancient principles provide the guidance needed to navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and resilience. Remember, the pursuit of Stoic wisdom isn't a destination, but a continuous journey. It's about striving every day to live with intention, justice, and courage. So take these insights, apply them in your life, and watch how they transform not just your perspective, but your reality. Thanks for being part of our Stoic Journal community. Keep seeking wisdom, practicing virtue, and most importantly, living a life true to your deepest self. Until next time, take care and continue to forge your path with heart and clarity.